welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Megan. Today I have such an exciting video for you guys today, or at least I find it exciting. So if you look through, like a quick little scroll through my YouTube channel, I only have 11 videos, so it's really quick. But you could quickly notice that I do reading vlogs, and sometimes I'll do a sit-down video like about a book, but like I don't do reading wrap-ups is basically where I'm getting at, because of the fact 1 month I could read 6 books, and then the next month I could read no books, and then the next month I could just read 1, and then the next month I could be back up to like 10 books. I'm a mood reader, okay? So I don't just think I could stay consistent with reading wrap-ups. However, I love doing, or I even love watching the videos of people sharing their 5-star reads, and I've done this once before, and I have a few more books to add to that collection. But today I'm going to be showing you every single book I have given 5 stars. And you might be wondering, Megan, isn't this like a lot of books? Like, you put a lot of books, you love a lot of books. But basically, every single book that I enjoy, I give usually a 4-star. If I like the best way I could describe these books here is they are the books that I compare every other book to when I give that book a 5-star. And if they don't compare, then they're not a 5-star. They're bumped down to like a 4.75 or a 4.5. But these are my all-time favorite books that I will always recommend to everyone. Mostly I would recommend to everyone. I have a few series in here that I don't classify all 3 books as 5-star reads individually. I will explain that when we get to it, but overall the series is a 5-star. But we're going to get right into this because I'm so excited. We have, how many books? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books to talk about today. I am so excited, so I'm going to try and just give a very brief synopsis, I don't know how to say that word. I'm going to give a brief description of what happens in the book, and maybe it'll hook you in and you will understand why I love these books so much. So without further ado, let's get on to this because I'm so excited. The very first book, these are not in any specific order. We have Her Name in the Sky by Kelly Quillen. This book is incredible. Is there really a synopsis for this? There's no really synopsis for this, so we're gonna take this away. So this book follows the story of our main character, Hannah. She is a senior in high school, and throughout the whole book, we watch her deal with her sexuality as well as what conflicts with her religious beliefs, and we see her try to balance that and figure out those feelings. I love that so much. I'm always looking to read more romances with LGBTQ plus characters, especially with women, and since a lot of books that are popular for LGBTQ plus are I can't even speak. Most LGBTQ plus books focuses around men, and this focuses around women, and I'm really happy about that. This book is incredible. I love it so much. Just the relationship that Hannah has with her love interest, I love them so much. It is such a good book, and it's such an easy read. It's literally the biggest font ever. Such an easy book, and love ultimately wins, Hannah. Love ultimately saves. The next book I have here is Tell Me 3 Things. Look at this cover. It's kind of a little bit ruined because this is from Target, and it was a second-hand copy, I believe. Was it from Target? Somewhere. It got a little bit ruined, but this book is so freaking cute. I hadn't seen it anywhere else, so I decided to buy it because it was cheap, and I ended up absolutely loving it. So I forget what the main character's name is. That's a very bad thing, but it was a cute book. So our main character, Jessie, she moves to this new school, and this anonymous guy starts texting her, emailing her, and he keeps giving her advice about the school, telling all the details about it, and that relationship grows, as well as she starts to grow more comfortable with the people that she's around due to that anonymous guy. And by the end of the book, it reveals who the anonymous guy is. And yeah, it's such a cute book. Like, seriously, like, you can't go wrong with this book. It's very cute romance. I was smiling the entire time. So cute. The next book I gave 5 stars is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I read this back in 2021, I believe. So my opinion, like, if I read it now, it might change. But like 2021 gave this a 5-star read, so I'm gonna trust that me. This honestly is what got me into reading. It follows a story of Rufus and Mateo. There is this like Death Note, I believe it's what it's called. Deathcast, and these two characters, they get that, which basically tells them that they have 24 hours until they die. Is it 20? Yeah. They have basically 24 hours, they're dead. And there's this app called Last Friend that these two characters get onto, and then they meet with each other, and they spend their last 24 hours with each other, and it's so sad by the end, because you know what happens, because the book is called They Both Die at the End, so obviously they die at the end. But just like, even though you know that fact, it's still gonna be heartbreaking. And this was just so freaking good. I know there's another book for this, I don't know what it's called, but I highly recommend this book. It's so good. I loved it. It's so fast-paced, easy to read. You don't really need a lot of brain power to like understand it. It's so good. And there's even an Instagram page for them, and it's so cute. And it's the exact same day and the right year and everything. The Deal by Elle Kennedy, and I want to say, okay, so this is a whole long series, and I have only read this book, so this is in fact just a 1 5-star read. So this is a college hockey romance. This is by Elle Kennedy. Did I mention that? I don't know. The Deal. So another Hannah part 2. So Hannah is this shy girl. She's really smart at school. She's a music major, I believe. And she is interested in this guy, and on our opposite side, our other love interest, we have Garrett Graham, who is a hockey player, and he is struggling with school, and what that means he might have to be possibly kicked off of the hockey team. And these two characters strike up a deal that she has to tutor him, help him get his grades up, and in that return he'll get her a date with this other guy. But you can slowly start to see that these two have a very strong bond with each other, and they start to go. And I love this so much. This is the only book I have read of her series. I believe the next one is The Score, or The Mistake, The Score, The Goal, The Legacy, and there's also a Briar U series, but as I said, I've only read this. I really want to go back and highlight because I read it online, but like, this is a good book. This is what I like to call a good book, and this is kind of what made me interested in like college books, because like I don't really read that. I'm a high school student. So the next book, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I have mentioned this book on my channel a few times. I just read it and I'm already putting it into this video. This book, oh my gosh, you can hear my full opinions on my reading my highest versus lowest books on my TBR. This book is a historical. It follows Achilles' story, the historical legend through the eyes of Patroclus. And as I said, full opinions. I'm not going to go into big detail about that because I talk about spoiler-free in that vlog, but just like their relationship, oh my god. Next book I have is Heartstopper. I only have volume 4. This is my favorite book out of the entire series. It's also extremely heavy. So this is about the story of Nick and Charlie. It is actually a graphic novel. It is the only graphic novel I have ever read that, like, I mean, like, me now have read. Like, I read The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Who didn't? But it follows Nick and Charlie and their relationship, and they're in high school. And I don't really know how else to describe this, as it deals with their relationship. And that's all I really have to say about this book. This book is so easy to read. It's so cute. The show is incredible. I'm so excited for the show to come out. So my camera decided to cut out on me when I was talking about my next book, which is Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is a book about Alex Claremont Diaz, who is the first son of the United States. I believe that's his title name. And then Henry Fox, which is the Prince of Wales. They've hated each other for basically like their entire lives. And then they're going to this party thing. I think it's a party. I don't really remember. It's an event that both of them are invited to. They argue, they knock into a cake, and it's like public news that like, oh, they're feuding again. And then their families force them kind of to spend time together so that like they can solve whatever problem that they've been having. And it's very tense, and you watch that grow. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Back to my regular schedule. The next book is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This book is a dark academia. We have Oliver, who we see just getting out of jail for a murder, and the whole book explores the past time, explaining what has happened. So he is a part of this group of kids who are in theater in, I think, college. That storyline of when they were younger, you see that story, as well as you slowly start to uncover what has happened to lead to a murder. I love this book. Oh my gosh. This gives me Dead Poet Society vibes, and that movie teared me apart. But this book is so, so good. I cried. You can see a common theme here. If I cried at a book, you know I loved it. But this is such a good freaking book. I remember I read this right before Outer Banks Season 2 came out. We're gonna skip one book and leave the best for last. So, you know it would not be my video, without mentioning the Six of Crows duology. I only have Crook Kingdom, the collector's edition. I'm obsessed with this. Like, this book, I don't even want to touch it. Look at this. So, this book is Six of Crows, follows the same storyline, but that is so false. It is the same universe as the Shadow and Bone trilogy. However, you don't really need to read that to read these books. I skipped the third book and I was fine reading this. This follows 6 people, the crows, as 6 of crows. 6 crows? Okay. They are from Ketterdam, which is a city made up in the Grishaverse, but They go through this heist, this big heist plan, and just the found family in this book series. It's such a good book series. I highly recommend it. I'm speechless still at it. Like, this is the fantasy books that I love. These books are incredible. I highly recommend reading these books. I know I didn't go into big detail. I'm terrible at describing books, but a heist of 6 criminals and the relationships that they have with each other, the romantic, just the slow burn. I love Kaz and Inej, Wylan and Jesper, and then Matthias and Nina, every single one of them. And lastly, the book that sparked my idea for this video, I literally came up with it as I was rereading it. The Foxhole Court trilogy. I only have the 3rd book, which is The King's Men. Personally, for me, I think The Raven King and All the King's Men. No. I think The Raven King, which is the 2nd book, and The King's Men, the 3rd book, are my favorite books out of the entire series. So we have our main character, Neil, who is this very secretive character, and you can tell that he is running away from something. And he gets offered to play Exy, which is basically a sport made up that is a mix of lacrosse and ice hockey. And he gets offered to play for this university, and he's like really wary because of his past, and he accepts. And once again, the found family trope, as we have in 6 of Crows. We see him finally find his place in the world after literally like his entire past of running away from things. And this book series, when I say, is probably my all-time favorite. However, there are many trigger warnings. Like, I literally could probably list an entire page full of the trigger warnings for these book. They definitely need a trigger warning, but they are so good, and it made me feel 50 different emotions. And it's such a good book series. There is some romance in it, however, it's not the kind of romance that you have from like Red, White, Royal Blue or Heartstopper. It comes in subtly in the 2nd book and strongly in the 3rd book. I have a physical copy right here of the 3rd book, which is my personal favorite book. All the books for me, I think, are a 5-star, except the 1st might be dumped down to a 4.75, but this remains to be the only book series, or the only book, in fact, that I have reread, and that is telling you a lot. But please check the trigger warning. I will also put it down in the description if I can find one of all the trigger warnings. But this book series, it got me in every single way. Every single character individually, I love them so much. And it's about sports, but then it goes deeper into like mafia. That is all the books that I wanted to talk about today. I hope this motivates you guys to read some new books. I really hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you next week for my next video. Bye!